I've talked a lot about the men women should dodge and the ugly signs that scream trouble before a relationship even gets serious. The lies, the games, the hot and cold nonsense, the lazy effort, the selfish energy, and all the little warning bells that start ringing when a man wants the comfort of love without the weight of loyalty. But the other day I heard a story that flipped my thoughts in a different direction. A man said his girlfriend got upset because he bought her a ring as a gift, and instead of smiling or feeling touched, she got angry because she thought the ring should have cost more. She took the price as proof of how much he valued her, and because the number in her head was bigger than the number on that receipt, she decided the gift wasn't enough. That is a real story. And yes, I know some women listening might be thinking, wait, he bought her a ring at all. My man can't even remember to bring me coffee or surprise me with a cheap box of donuts, and fair enough. But let me clear the fog for a second, because this matters if we spend all our time talking about the bad guys and the red flags and the disasters. Then we also need to talk about the signs that a man is actually solid, the signs that he is the kind of man worth keeping close, worth trusting, worth building with, the kind of man who may not always be flashy or smooth or perfect, but is deeply good in the ways that count. And I'll come back to the ring story because it says something important about human nature and relationships and the dangerous trap of always wanting more. But first, let's get to the heart of the real question. How do you know you found a truly good man? How do you know he deserves your time, your softness, your loyalty, your effort, your patience, and your love? Especially when things stop feeling cute and easy, especially when life gets messy, because it will get messy. That part is guaranteed. Some people still believe that if you meet the right person, then every stage should feel effortless, from the first glance to the first date to the first kiss, to the first sweet text to the first night together, to moving in and building a life. They think the right match should glide like some perfect movie scene, and if it doesn't, then maybe something is wrong. Maybe the spark is fake. Maybe the person is wrong. Maybe there is somebody better waiting around the corner. Some women even believe that if a man is really meant for them, then he should magically know what they need. He should read their body language, decode their silent sense, their moods, predict their boundaries, understand their love language, and never need clear words or honest direction. He should just know without being told. But real life is not a fantasy, and actual relationships do not run on mind reading in the real world. Two people come together with different histories, different fears, different habits, different wounds, different ways of speaking and loving and reacting. And unless both people are willing to learn each other, there will be friction, there will be confusion, there will be moments where one person feels unseen and the other person feels unfairly blamed. That is not always a sign you chose wrong. Sometimes it is just a sign that you are dealing with something real, and many people hit that stage and panic. They start wondering, should I stay? Should I leave? Is there someone out there who would make this easier? I just want to feel adored again. I want the spark from the first few dates. I want the butterflies. I want the rush. I want the electric pull from the beginning. And because I make these videos for women, I want to slow that down and really look at what matters. Because just like there are warning signs that point toward future heartbreak, there are also signs that point toward safety, strength, and long-term peace. There are signs that make the future feel less like a storm and more like a place you can rest in if you do not know me. Yet I'm an author. My real name is Hit, though I also go by the easier pen name Brian Knox. And before I get into the first sign, I want to return to that woman with the ring, because this is bigger than one gift or one couple. I do not know her, and I do not know the full shape of their relationship, so I'm not going to judge her whole heart from one moment. But I do know something that shows up again and again when people start dating, and especially after a relationship becomes official and comfortable. We want more. We get used to what once thrilled us, we adjust fast, we raise our standards even when we do not mean to. And that does not always mean we are spoiled or greedy. Sometimes it just means we are human. Think about this. Imagine there is a man you really like. Maybe you are crushing on him hard. Maybe you replay little moments in your head. Maybe you wonder if he notices you. Maybe your stomach flips when he walks into the room. Now imagine one day he comes over and introduces himself. Just that one move, that one brave, simple step would probably light up your whole day. It would feel exciting, valuable, memorable. Now imagine the first time he reaches for your hand after a date, the first time he kisses you, the first time he texts you good morning after staying over, the first time you wake up and he is still there instead of vanishing into thin air. If you really like him, those moments feel huge, they feel loaded, they feel precious, they can leave you floating now. Fast forward 10 months, if he has been holding your hand for 10 months, kissing you for 10 months, texting good morning for 10 months, staying over and waking up beside you for 10 months, those same actions might not hit the same way. They may still matter deeply, but they might not produce the same fireworks because your mind adjusted. It turned what once felt thrilling into normal. And now if he suddenly buys you an expensive ring, your brain might say, okay, nice. But what next? And then later, your mind may start craving something bigger. Maybe a luxury trip, maybe a new car, maybe a dream house, maybe some shiny symbol to recreate that same emotional high. And no, I'm not even joking. This is how people work in psychology and marketing. There is a concept like this where something satisfies you strongly at first, but after a while, it becomes expected. It no longer moves you the same way. Its presence feels normal, but its absence would sting. That is a dangerous little trick of the mind because it can make you blind to the beauty of what you already receive. The tenderness, the consistency, the effort, the little faithful acts that once made your whole chest light up. And this matters because many women miss good men, not because those men are not loving enough, but because steady love does not always feel dramatic. After a while, it can start to feel ordinary even when it is priceless. So you have to train your eyes and your heart to notice what has become familiar. Because familiar does not mean meaningless. Sometimes it means you have been blessed so regularly that your soul stopped gasping at the gift and started calling it basic. Now, with that said, here is the first big sign that a man is truly good. He tries to handle your emotions with care, and before anyone rolls their eyes, let me be very honest. There are plenty of things women end up having to deal with when it comes to men. Men's blind spots, men's clueless moments, men's silence, men's weird timing, men's habit of acting fine when they are absolutely not fine. But one thing many men genuinely struggle to understand is the emotional world of women, how fast feelings can shift, how deep they can run, how they can appear to surge out of nowhere, how something small can touch something old, and suddenly the whole day changes. A lot of men are baffled by this, and I'm not only saying that as a man from personal experience. I'm saying it because I have spoken to a huge number of men over the years while writing my books, and again I heard the same thing. Women can feel like a mystery, not because they are crazy, not because their feelings are wrong, but because many men do not experience emotion with the same texture range or intensity. So when a good man sees your feelings, he may not instantly understand them perfectly, but he does not mock them. He does not act like they are stupid or dramatic or inconvenient. He does not constantly say you shouldn't feel that way or you're overreacting or calm down as if your inner world is some annoying mess he wants cleaned up quickly. Instead, he leans in. He asks, why do you feel that way? What happened? Talk to me. Help me understand. He may say, I'm sorry, you feel hurt. He may sit with you on a rough day instead of trying to escape it. He may not solve everything beautifully, but he tries, and that trying is gold, because it means your emotions are not a burden. He resents they are part of you. He wants to understand if a man can stay grounded while your feelings are swirling, if he can remain kind while you are overwhelmed, if he can listen without making everything about himself, if he can hold space instead of acting threatened by your tears or your anger or your sensitivity. That is not small. That is a huge green flag because many men want the fun, playful, easy side of a woman, but panic when they meet the full emotional weather of a real one. The good man is not the one who only loves you when you are light and sexy and smiling. The good man is the one who also shows up when you are tired, moody, confused, stressed, heart sore, and emotionally all over the place. And he does not act like you became too much just because you became human. The second sign is that your boundaries matter to him for real. Not just when respecting them makes him look noble, and not just when he is in a sweet mood, but consistently and quietly and without a fight. This is one of those things that often does not create fireworks. At first, a man respecting your boundaries may not make your heart race or your knees shake the way flirtation and chemistry do, but if he does not respect them, you will feel the damage later, and you will feel it hard. A man who is bothered by your no, who keeps pushing, who keeps testing, who acts wounded, every time you draw a line, who treats your limits like obstacles instead of information, is not safe, no matter how charming he is, but a good man. Listens, he pays attention, he remembers what you said, matters to you. He does not make you feel guilty for wanting respect. He does not pressure you into moving faster than your comfort allows. He does not treat your standards like a challenge to defeat. He sees them as part of how to love you well, and that matters in every area: emotional, physical, social, digital, financial, all of it. Your boundaries tell him where your dignity lives, and if he values you, he will value those lines, even when they inconvenience him. Maybe, especially then, the third sign is that he accepts the cost of love without acting like a martyr. Relationships cost something real, and I do not just mean money, though. Yes, sometimes money is part of it. I mean time, freedom, patience, attention, compromise, energy, discipline, and sacrifice. If a man wants a strong relationship or a healthy marriage, he will have to give things up. He will have to make room in his life where only his own comfort used to sit. He will have to spend time with you. That means he cannot spend every free second with his friends or with his hobbies or scrolling like a zombie for 5 straight hours. He will have to learn you, which takes work. He will have to remember what matters to you, what hurts you, what delights you, what shuts you down, what makes you feel chosen. He will have to stop feeding the attention of other women. He will have to shut doors that used to stay cracked open. He will have to reject temptation instead of flirting with it for ego snacks. He may have to sit through dinners or events or conversations that are not his favorite thing in the world, simply because showing up matters to you. He may have to leave work on time even when his task feels urgent because he made a plan with you and he respects what he promised. He will have to ask for your thoughts before making choices that affect both of you, because partnership means you do not act single while enjoying couple benefits. And yes, you also have to pay a price for love. This goes both ways, but we are focusing on him right now because some men love the perks of devotion while still wanting the freedom of a bachelor. They want loyalty, care, sex, softness, support, and emotional security while refusing the structure and sacrifice that real commitment requires. They want the whole feast without helping cook it. And if a man is always calculating what love costs him while ignoring what it gives him, he is not ready. But when a man sees the cost and still steps forward without constant whining, without resentment, without acting trapped, that tells you something beautiful. It tells you he does not see loving you as a burden. He sees it as a choice worth making again and again. The fourth sign is what he does when life gets hard, because pressure reveals character in a way sweet moments never can. Anybody can seem amazing when the mood is warm and the chemistry is hot and the bills are paid and nobody is stressed and everyone is rested. The real test shows up when things wobble, when there is conflict, when one of you is sick, when schedules clash, when feelings get bruised, when disappointment enters the room, when the shiny glow fades and actual work begins. What does he do? Then does he vanish emotionally? Does he go cold? Does he punish you with distance? Does he dodge every hard talk and wait for the storm to magically pass on its own? Or does he stay? Does he try? Does he lean in and say, let's figure this out when you argue? A good man does not enjoy your pain. He does not always communicate perfectly, but he wants repair. He wants clarity. He wants the relationship to become stronger through truth, not weaker through avoidance when you are sick. He does not suddenly treat your struggle like a lucky opening for him to go live his best carefree life with the boys. He checks on you. He helps where he can. He brings some comfort into the room. When you are overwhelmed, he does not instantly make everything about how your stress affects his mood. He looks for ways to support instead of reasons to escape. This does not mean a good man is flawless or endlessly available every second of every day. He is human too. But overall, when things get ugly, he does not sprint for the nearest exit. He stays in the ring. And that matters because anybody can hold your hand in sunshine. Pay attention to who still reaches for you in the rain. The fifth sign is that he sees the best in you and protects it even when you are struggling to see it yourself. This one is powerful because life can wear a person down. It can mess with your confidence, your focus, your energy, your body image, your hope, your ambition. Sometimes you know exactly who you are and what you can do. And other times you feel like a dim version of yourself, a shadow of your own potential. And in those moments, the kind of partner beside you matters deeply. A weak partner can make your doubts louder. A selfish partner can use your low moments to control you. A jealous partner can chip away at your growth because your power makes them nervous. But a good man has this steady way of looking at you that reminds you there is more in you than your fear says. He sees gifts in you. He names strengths in you. He encourages you when you are slipping. He celebrates your wins instead of competing with them. He does not try to keep you small so he can feel big. He likes your light. He wants it brighter. When you are around a man like that, You feel built up, not torn down. You feel steadier, not shakier. And no, he will not always get it right. No one can be emotionally switched on at all times. Everyone has private battles and off days. But when you look at the overall pattern, you can feel whether a man is feeding your confidence or feeding your insecurity. A good man may challenge you, but he will not poison you. He may be honest with you, but he will not take secret pleasure in your self-doubt. He will not keep poking the wounds that make you easiest to control. Instead, he will help you remember your worth when life tries to blur it. The sixth sign is that respect sits at the center of how he treats you. Not just attraction, not just convenience, not just excitement, but respect. Real respect, the kind that shapes choices, the kind that shows up in private and in public, the kind that affects tone, timing, language, loyalty, and restraint. If a man respects you then before he does something, he thinks about how it will land on your heart. He thinks about whether it would embarrass you, dishonor you, hurt you, or make you feel cheap. He does not only ask, "Can I get away with this?" He asks, "Should I do this at all?" Because your feelings matter to him, your dignity matters to him, your peace matters to him. If he speaks about you with warmth when you are not there, if he protects the relationship when temptation shows up, if he does not joke in ways that cut you down, if he takes your concerns seriously instead of brushing them off, if he handles disagreement without trying to humiliate you, then that respect is alive and active. And this is massive for the long run because attraction can be intense and still unstable. Chemistry can be wild and still toxic, but respect gives love a backbone. Respect keeps passion from turning cruel. Respect helps two people survive the seasons where lust alone is not enough. And when you feel deeply respected by a man, there is a special kind of safety in that it is not boring, it is not bland, it is actually rare and quietly sexy, because it means you are not just desired, you are valued, and there is a difference worth paying attention to. So if you are sitting there wondering whether your man is one of the good ones, do not only ask whether he excites you, ask whether he steadies you. Do not only ask whether he says beautiful things, ask whether he does beautiful things when nobody is clapping. Do not only ask whether the beginning felt magical, ask whether the middle feels safe, ask whether his love is all flash and no spine, or whether it has depth, weight, patience, and staying power. Because a great man is not simply the one who gives you butterflies. He is the one who gives you reasons to exhale. He is not simply the one who knows how to chase. He is the one who knows how to stay. He is not simply the one who can light a spark. He is the one who can keep a fire going without burning the whole house down. And yes, sometimes you may overlook his goodness because it does not scream, it does not dazzle every day. It does not always come wrapped in expensive things or dramatic gestures. Sometimes it looks like consistency, sometimes it looks like listening, sometimes it looks like restraint. Sometimes it looks like showing up again and again in ways your nervous system has already started calling normal. But do not let normal fool you. There are women praying for the kind of steady love you may have started treating like background noise if he handles your emotions with care, respects your boundaries, pays the price of commitment, stays when things get rough, believes in you, and puts respect first. Then you are not dealing with a mediocre man. You are dealing with a rare one, and rare things should be recognized while you still have them. If you want more from me, you can visit brianknox.com or look for my books online by searching Brian Knox. And thank you for staying with me all the way to the end. I always appreciate that more than you know, and I hope I'll see you again in the next video. And if you are lucky enough to have that kind of man, do not play games with him. Do not test him for cheap thrills. Do not keep score over every tiny flaw, and do not let your restless mind sabotage something real. Just because real love stops feeling like fireworks every second. Sometimes the hottest thing on earth is not chaos, but a man whose heart stays honest, loyal, tender, and brave when life turns sharp and ugly now.